All right, how quickly can we create a super simple animation rig? Well, let's try by starting with a cube. Create polygon primitives, cube. There it is. I want to raise this up into a better spot, make it look like it's resting on the floor. So translate Y 0.5, that raises it up. I need more subdivisions for deformations later on, so let's go to our creation history here. Left click on the subdivisions, and then middle click in the viewport and drag right to interactively subdivide. 6 is probably too many. I'm going to type in 5. And then I'm going to get rid of all this instruction stuff going into it. I don't need that 0.5 there. I don't need to have this construction history. So I'm going to freeze the transformations, and I'm going to delete all by type history. Now we just have this simple cube, value of 0, scale of 1, no construction history or any information going into it yet. I'm going to name it. I'm going to call it a box, and I'm going to give it the suffix of PLY, which I give to all of the meshes that will be getting controlled by rigs. And then I'm going to create a rig. To do that, I'm going to start with some control curves. So I'm going to create NURBS primitive circle. Now that's going to be my main offset animation control, but I want a placement node, a master node. So I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, and then I'm going to scale that up a little bit. So that's the master controller. I need to freeze these so they all have a default value of 0 for transformation and rotation. And then I need to give these some names. Like I said, this is going to be the master control. CTRL is my extension for controls. And then this is going to be the offset control. Now these things have to be in a parent-child relationship in order for it to work properly. So I'm going to make the offset a child of the master. And I just do that in the outliner by middle click and dragging under master. Now we have a relationship where the master controls the offset and the offset moves relative to the master. So I can always set these back to 0 since I'd frozen them out earlier. And then we have to tie, of course, the cube to the offset control. And I'm going to do that by using a parent constraint and a scale constraint. So I'll select what I want to constrain to, and then I'll select what I want to constrain. And then I will go to rigging, constrain, parent, constrain, scale. And now we have a rig. So if I move this thing around or scale it or do whatever, it directly manipulates the cube. And if I place this offset, or I'm sorry, this master, which is our placement node, everything follows, everything goes along. And I can scale that as well. Or I can just set everything back to where it started by typing 0 for transform and rotation, and I can set the scale back to 1. And there's our rig. It's basically done. The last thing I want to do, though, is I do want to group these all together as sort of the character itself. So select both nodes, hit Control G, and then I will type box underscore group. And there is our character, all done. I will save this scene as boxrig VO1. Yeah, I'm going to overwrite that. And there it is. That's a character. We can add deformations and animate it later. See ya.